this particular party list does not represent a minority without the voice. In fact, their positions are now very well represented in the current Congress, which is the reason why the reproductive health bill has been held up for 10 years, so that they are not really a voiceless minority. Second, we have indications that this party list is very closely affiliated to a religious organization, the Catholic Church and the CBCP, and therefore they are in violation of the constitutional provision on separation of church and state and some of the provisions of the party list law.
What group do you represent?
I represent a group called Catholics for Reproductive Health. I am the chairman of the board which trustees of this organization. I am Dr. Alberto Romualdez. I am formerly Secretary of Health.
Okay. We're of that opposition, but let us hear the evidence of this party list first. But you are given, if you want,
15 days, if that's possible.
Too long.
Too long.
10 days.
10 days is fine. Our lawyers agree.
In the meantime, we proceed with the hearing.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Structure of families in the Philippines and the youth that belong to it, and more particularly the OFW families, who are the most dysfunctional part of the family structure of the Philippines, by the very nature of them, about 10 million, having their parents or spouses or even children abroad. And this is the sector that we wish to represent, as they are not yet represented.
In other words, Mr. Rindis, you are representing all the families throughout the country.
Families and the youth, Your Honor.
So there is no particular sector on this family that you are representing. You represent the whole families as
as general, all families, as particularly OFW families, Your Honor.
In other words, your advocacy is preservation of the family?
Yes, Your Honor. The unity of family and the youth that form part of the family.
And the sector you intend to represent are the youth and the professionals, is it?
The youth and the professionals, Your Honor.
And the youth and the professionals, even if they are not marginalized, you represent them.
Those that are, Your Honor, those that are by virtue of their being abroad, working, those that are left behind are marginalized. And of course, we know that the OFWs are mostly also marginalized in one way or the other, being in foreign countries, in foreign cultures.
You heard Secretary Romualdez here talking about your party list is according to them is a religious group. It's true that you are related to any religious group.
I am a Catholic, of course, and I will not deny it, as they claim they are also Catholics. But I would say that I am not part of CBCP, nor any formal Catholic run organization. I am, in fact, part of a civic group that has been in existence in a movement called Prolife, a coalition, for many years.
Now, Mr. Rindis, in your petition, your sectoral organization composed of qualified voters, bound together by same-that interest to promote, protect, and preserve the total development of the Filipino family and its members from the moment of their conception. In other words, you even cover those children inside the womb of their mothers.
Yes, Your Honor, because a family would not be a family without the children, and including those that are yet to be born.
So it's a general term, Mr. Rindis.
Yes, Your Honor.
You do not represent any particular family who are not marginalized, nor represented.
Well, I would like to think, Your Honor, that we are representing the families that are marginalized and dysfunctional because of their being separated from their breadwinners and being separated many from their own children who are abroad.
In your number 3, in the petition, petitioner seeks to represent the private sector of the Filipino family whenever and however they may be found who lack well-defined political constituencies to become members of the House of Representatives. These are general terms, Mr. Witness, and under the party list law, you have to represent a particular sector. But in your petition, it doesn't state any particular sector that you represent, because you represent the whole qualified voters bound together by similar interests to promote, protect, and preserve total development of the Filipino family and its members from the moment of their conception.
Your Honor, my reply to that is that not all families are dysfunctional, and within that broad range of family definition, there are those that are dysfunctional, and this is what we will be representing. Those that are not in any problem at all or dysfunctional in nature, of course we will allow them to proceed with what they're doing. We're more particular about those minorities, like the 10 million OFW families that exist right now.
I presume you are against this RS bill pending Congress.
Yes, Your Honor.
What, whenever your party is elected, what laws do you intend to propose to preserve the family?
Well, we intend to have as a landmark law a Magna Carta for families, which in essence would be looking at, as I mentioned, the marginalized groups or dysfunctional families and put a safety net so that this issue of having absence of fathers and mothers or children, for that matter, can be resolved by being able to put in legislation, as an example, connectivity between the OFW families and their loved ones abroad is one issue that has to be resolved because it's the lack of communication that creates much of the dysfunction.
But what is the relation of the proposed law intend to present to this RH bill?
There's no direct effect on the RH bill, Your Honor, because this law is really going to be able to provide safety nets for the families that are dysfunctional and marginalized.
What probable safety nets do you have in mind?
Well, I was trying to explain earlier that one would be connectivity, because as we know now, with the advent of internet, many families who have no contacts with their loved ones abroad who are working for them can be connected down to the barangay level. And this is one of the 17 laws that we're looking into. We're also looking into, Your Honor, the possibility of having families that are here in the Philippines who are OFW families that would be given the proper training to be able to preserve the earnings that they get from their loved ones and invest them into right micro-business or investments.
Mr. Ortiz, is your party list registered with the Security Services Commission?
It is not, Your Honor.
It's not.
In the platform of government you submitted, small part of the record of this case, you stated there that this Prolife, that OC is defense of life, but you seem to legalize, you are against all this depopulation. Depopulation, what, I mean, against abortion, of course, no? Same-sex union and depopulation.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say that you are against depopulation.
When we are promoting family and life, we obviously would have to become against anything that would reduce further the existing population that we have, and which has already been debunked in many scientific studies, that the population is not the issue that we should be addressing, but really how to have a well-educated population, especially on the family level, and of course to decrease the amount of corruption that is happening now in many parts of our country.
But is it not that the precisely to regulate our overpopulation in the Philippines.
That's the, if you will look, Your Honor, at the initiatives of both, of any part of the RH bill, this is taken from foreign sources, and particularly pinpointed to the United States and Europe, wherein no less than Henry Kissinger has had to expose this program of depopulating, of lessening the number of youth, especially those youth that are seen to be against the American ways of proceeding in their business. And this is covered under NSSN 200, which has been already classified and is available in the internet. So we feel that the families, the Filipino families, particularly the marginalized OFW families, are at a disadvantage with this kind of foreign intervention. And our employment that is not available for these people is going to be exacerbated, going to be complicated and aggravated as we continue to bring in foreign ideology on the population. We believe the